friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tash and today I'm going to be talking to you about all the books I read in September. First up is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree, which is a super popular cozy fantasy following Viv, an orc who has left her warrior lifestyle behind and is trying to settle down and open a coffee shop. And I ended up giving this 3 stars. I listened to this on audio, which was definitely probably the best way for me to experience it. It's narrated by Travis Baldree himself, who is a seasoned audiobook narrator. I really enjoyed Viv as a main character. I thought she was really sympathetic. I think a lot of people can relate to the feeling of not believing that you deserve the life that you want. I think we can all relate to the imposter syndrome of that. So it was really lovely to sort of watch her grow, watch her learn that she is worthy of loving others and feeling that love in return. I think what let this book down for me is the fact that there was such low stakes throughout, which I know is kind of the point of Legends and Lattes, but the fact that the stakes were so low meant that I really struggled to feel as invested in the story as I wanted to. Don't get me wrong, the characters were amazing, the dynamics, the found family element was something I really loved. I always love found family in books and that is no different here. I thought it was really, really well done. I just think that this world felt so rich that we could have done more with it, but I understand that that's not necessarily the point of these books, so maybe it's just not necessarily for me in that way. But overall, I still really enjoyed it and gave it 3 stars. Next, I read Beasts by Ingvild Bjrekeland. I think that's how you say it. And I read that on my Kindle. It's a very short book. It's only 128 pages. And it follows 2 siblings, Abdi and his younger sister, Alma, who kind of have to survive in this world that's been overtaken by savage, bloodthirsty beasts that kill everything in sight. Their mother's dead, and all the people around them have kind of decided that it's every man for himself. So they are on their own trying to survive in a world where it's not really gonna happen for them. I've not heard many people talk about this one. It's apparently a huge hit in Norway, where the author is from. It was nominated for, I think, like the Nordic Council's Children and Young Adult Prize. So it's very big over there. But I think if you're looking for a very short but impactful, thrilling, tense survival horror that you can just sort of get through in an afternoon for this spooky season, then I would definitely recommend this and give it a go. Then I listened to Bookshops and Bonedust, also by Travis Baldree. I had this as an ARC from NetGalley, which proves how behind on my NetGalley reviews I am. I found it on audio, decided to listen to it since I listened to the first one, and I didn't like it. I'm really sorry. I gave it 2 stars. It just didn't have the same magic to it as the first one. I didn't like the characters. The new characters that were introduced, I just didn't think they were as fun or as charming as the ones in Legends and Lattes were. I found some of the banter between them kind of cringy, which I didn't find at all in Legends and Lattes. And honestly, I think it kind of takes away from the magic, from what makes Legends and Lattes so special, because it's a prequel and Viv kind of already finds a little found family. She doesn't stay with them, obviously, but it kind of takes away from the whole learning to love and be loved in return, because she's already kind of experienced that. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but that's kind of how I felt. I was kind of a bit like, oh, well, it's not such a big deal that she finds her people in Legends and Lattes when she's already found a little group of people in the past. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Legends and Lattes, which is a shame. Am I gonna read the next one, which is called, I think, something like Of Bread Knives and Brigands or something like that? Probably not. I'm not super interested in it. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat's automatic feeder going off, by the way. Yeah, I just think that these books aren't necessarily for me. I'm willing to try more sort of cozy fantasy. I've definitely read some in the past that I've really enjoyed, but I think these specific books just aren't really for me. After that, I finished Piglet by Lottie Hazel. I don't want to say it was a lot of fun because it's essentially about a woman's life falling apart in front of her eyes, which is definitely not fun, but it was a really enjoyable reading experience. I found Piglet to be a really sympathetic main character. I think a lot of people would maybe question why she makes some of the choices that she does throughout the book, but to me it felt perfectly reasonable for her to react to certain situations in the way that she did. None of us are perfect. None of us know how we're gonna react to things when they happen. We just do. And that's kind of how Piglet deals with this major fallout in her life. Her fiance admits to being unfaithful to her just weeks before the wedding, and it's at that point, what do you do? Do you change the whole idea that you had for your life going forward in your head, or do you decide to forgive and forget and move on and stick to the path that you've made for yourself? It was really interesting, really nuanced, and I really enjoyed it. I flew through the pages. It didn't take me long to read at all. So if it sounds like something you're interested in, then I would definitely give it a go. My penultimate read for the month is a book I can actually show you, and it's The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monika Kim. And this was everything I needed it to be, everything I wanted it to be. It was gory, it was disgusting, it was messy, it was just everything I needed to really just get into like the Halloween spooky spirit. Basically, we follow a young woman called Jiwon, and her family life essentially falls apart when her father unexpectedly abandons them, and then her mother, to combat the fear of being alone, starts seeing a white man that has a little bit of a fetish for Asian women. And Jiwon finds herself becoming obsessed with his eyes and how delicious she thinks that they will taste. I'm not going to say much more than that because I think the best way to go into this book is to go in as blind as possible. That's about as much as you want to know. But it was fantastic. It was so gripping. It was so disgusting. And there were times I physically had to like turn away from the pages because it genuinely turned my stomach. It was so visceral. It was just, I just loved every second of it. Honestly, if you're unsure like I was about picking this one up, just do it. It is amazing. And my final read for the month was How to Lose a Lord in 10 Days by Sophie Irwin. I've read from Sophie Irwin before and I have absolutely loved her work. So when this came up on NetGalley, instantly I had to ask for it. Again, I'm a little late to the party because I found it on audio and decided to listen to it. I've never listened to one of her books before, so I thought I'd give it a go. And it was so funny. So funny. I don't laugh out loud at books ever, but this one genuinely had me like cackling. Like Alex could hear me from the other room and was like, what the hell is wrong with her? We follow a young woman called Lydia who's been out in the season, and unexpectedly she gets proposed to by the most eligible bachelor in England, Lord Ashford. Even though they've barely spoken, they've not really been courting, they've not been doing all of the normal things that you do in Regency times when you want to marry someone. And yet he's proposed to her and she doesn't really understand why. But obviously this is an amazing match for her. So her family are like, you're going to accept or we're going to kick you out. So she has 10 days before the engagement goes public to basically make him change his mind. And it's just about as ridiculous as you can imagine from there. It's full of shenanigans, hijinks. There's a little bit of a mystery element going on as well. The side characters are funny. Obviously there is a romance in here and it is so good. It's brilliant. Like, it's probably one of the truest enemies to lovers that I've come across in recent times. It's just brilliant. If you've not read from Sophie Irwin, honestly, you need to get on it, because she writes the absolute best feminist historical romances. And I'll hold my hands up and say that I don't read a lot of historical romances, but if you're looking for a historical romance with a strong, capable female main character with tons of agency, Sophie Irwin is what you're looking for. And that's it. I'm really pleased, as I managed to complete pretty much all of my September TBR apart from Bringing Down the Duke, which I ended up DNFing, and I managed to read 2 of my NetGalley arcs, which is crazy for me. In October, I think I'm going to focus on my fall TBR, so if you're interested in that, you can check out my last video where I talk all about what's on my autumn TBR. I will leave links to the full reviews of all of these books in the description down below, as well as links where you can buy any of these books if you're interested in them from bookshop.org, a website which helps support purchasing from indie bookstores. Using my link may earn me a small commission from your purchase at no extra cost to you. And if you like this video, make sure that you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button, because I'm really enjoying going on this YouTube journey and just yapping about books. I'm having a lot of fun. So please join me if you like what you've seen today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.